Hi everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's video. If you've not seen me before, my name is Abby the Mindset Fairy and I'm here to provide you with guidance on how to turn your dreams into a reality. If you have seen me before, then welcome back. So today's video is all going to be about sacrifice. Now, bear with me on this, it's not as scary as it sounds. What I mean by sacrifice is in order for us to achieve our dreams, there are things within your life at the moment that you will have to let go of in order to be able to make room to achieve those dreams. Now, to start off with, you'll be like, I can make it happen. I don't need to get rid of anything. But if you think about it, if you were able to achieve your dreams living exactly how you are at the moment, same job, same people around you, same living situation, same health, then you would already be living the life of your dreams. And the fact that you're not, and you're tuning into this video to find out how we can do it, means that there are certain parts of your life that you will need to change. So if you've been watching my videos and you are already partway through the process, so you've really gone back, thought about what your dreams are, what your goals are, why you want to achieve what that is, why that's so important to you, and why that dream is something that is really going to enrich your life. You've probably already started to look into what does that mean for you. So say, for example, that your dream was to have a better work-life balance, then you will have looked at the hours that you're working, the family situation, the school situation. You'll be having a look at the amount of times that you are actually free at the weekends to do things with your family. There are lots of different things that you'd be looking at, and you will probably have realised that where you currently are now, that's not possible to achieve that better balance, because you either need to do the hours because your job demands it or because you need the salary, or you can move into a different job but then you won't be able to live the other part of the life that you want to. So there will be lots of different things that you will find as you start to look at the reality of making that dream a possibility. And that's where we sort of start to come to the sacrifice element of it. So you then will need to have a look at what out of what you currently have can you live without. And that's hard. I'm at that stage at the moment. I'm currently working towards my own dreams and my own goals. And I'm currently looking at my life and looking at what I can keep and what I might need to walk away from. And it's not a very easy thing to do. But one of the things that I will say is that when it comes to the people in your life, there are situations, there are people that you will need to walk away from in order to achieve your dreams. Because there are some people within our lives that don't support where we want to be. And it's difficult when you've got a history with them and they're such a big part of your life to think about moving locations so you're no longer around the corner from them, or think about leaving a work situation where you've worked with the same people for a very long time, you're very comfortable, you have a really good job, you really enjoy being in that environment, and you're worried about what environment you're going to be in your new career. So there's lots of different situations where you need to look at whether or not you're walking away from people. And I think one of the important things to think about, particularly on the people side of things, is that the people that are meant to be with you and meant to be part of your life will still be part of your life when you move on to start achieving your dream. You don't have to live around the corner from someone to have a good relationship with them. One of my best friends lives in the States and I'm in the UK, and she is one of the people that I'm closest to in this world. And we live in completely different time zones. And our relationship works because we still make the effort, because our friendship is more important. We don't talk every day, we talk most days. It's a different type of friendship, and I'm closer to her in many ways than I am to people who literally live around the corner from me. So that's sort of a really good example as to, it doesn't matter where you end up, that if someone is meant to be in your life and meant to be adding value to your life, they will still be there. But there comes a time where you really have to think, when is a good time for me to start stripping things back and making the big changes in my life? And I was thinking about this a lot over the last few days, because if you think about it, when we are in our teens, we're just focusing on our education, trying to get through it. Some people love education, most people don't. We get into our 20s and we are focusing on who we want to become, finding ourselves as an adult, finding ourselves and our personalities when we are no longer under that peer pressure. We get to like the end of our 20s and we start panicking because we know that in our 30s, society tells us that we should be married with kids. So we rush out to try and find someone to be married and have kids. We then head into our 30s thinking, yes, I've hit that goal, and then get hit with the reality of the fact that we're then responsible for very small people. And we have our whole 30s into our early 40s are dominated by being the main caregivers of these tiny little humans that we're trying to raise. Then they start to get a little bit older and it becomes even more difficult. When you think like having a teenager would be a lot easier, it is not. And then all of a sudden it's our 50s and we're recovering from the fact that we just spent the last sort of 20 years looking after other people. We start to look after ourselves again. And then we start thinking about retirement. So when we put it all in that respect, when is a good time for us to actually effectively blow up our life and change direction completely? Because at what stage in that is there going to be a good time? And the reality is there is never a good time to choose to make the big changes. There's never a good time to go, well, actually, to achieve that work-life balance, I need to move location. I need to move to a different state. I need to move to a different country. I need to go back to school. And to do that, I need to uproot my family and move them to where that university is going to be so I can maintain that relationship with my children. Whatever it is that you are aiming to do, there is going to be some big things that you will have to uproot in order to be able to start making steps towards achieving those goals and those dreams. And there will be sacrifices that you will have to make. And it is scary to think of it that way. And a lot of us, when we start to really look into the reality of that, and we start to look into the reality of what we will have to give up, we focus so much on the loss side of things, and our mindset focuses on everything that we are giving up. When instead what we really should be focusing on, everything that we get to keep and everything that we gain through working towards those goals. If we are moving locations, it's going to be hard because you won't know anyone, but you are working somewhere that provides you with a better work-life balance or better weather, higher job prospects. If you are going back to school, which is scary, and you're probably going to be the oldest in your class, then you're having the opportunity to learn something new, to work towards those goals, and in a way that you maybe didn't have the opportunity to do when you were younger. So there are always going to be things there's always going to be a positive and a negative. As they say, there are two sides to every coin. So there will always be something that you have to give up in order to gain. But by making room in your life for the gains, in the long run, you're going to be so much better off, because you're going to be so much happier that you've worked towards your goal. You're going to be so much happier that you're living that life that you wanted. And everything that is meant for you will always stay with you. If people are meant to stay in your life, they will stay in your life, or they will come back into your life later on. If they don't, then they were never meant to stay for the whole period. They're only meant to stay for a season. And that's hard. It's so upsetting. But it's also a really good opportunity to learn as well, because you can have a look at it and go, well, I thought that person was going to stay in my life forever, and they haven't. But there are so many benefits, so many good memories, so many different things that I've learned, and there will always be things that didn't go so well. And you'll be like, well, actually, that's not how I want to be in the future. So there are always going to be negatives, but there will always be positives. And each time you look at it, when you look at those sacrifices, think about what you can gain from it and use it to make the decision to move forward. And that's really what my message is about today. So I hope that it helped, and I will speak to you all soon. Bye.